If you're a business owner, offer owner, or practitioner, why does consulting not work sometimes, and what do you need to know about it? This is a fantastic question. I'm Scott Sylvan Bell, coming to you live from Consulting Secrets on a perfect day to talk about sales and business and consulting, and a fantastic day to talk about you. I'm coming to you live from Sacramento. There are times in your business career that consulting doesn't work, and it's 100% the part of the consultant. It's 100% part of the coach. And what it comes down to is they don't know how to work with other people. What it comes down to is they're not a professional. What it comes down to is the way that they talk to the people around them is not collaborative, it's demanding. And so you will end up having teams, people build resentment and say, I really don't want to work within this side of the scope of somebody who's going to treat me like this. I'm a professional. I'm a grown adult. I don't need to be screamed at. I don't need to be yelled at. I don't need to be guilt tripped. Like I did everything that was in my role and responsibility, and they didn't. Now, in my entire life in business, being an employee and also being a consultant, I've seen some amazing things and amazing not being good, where people are screamed at, yelled at, treated poorly, threatened, guilt tripped, like all the bad things you could make an example of. I've seen it happen. And sometimes the person that's inside of the organization, the employee of yours, comes to you and says, hey, I've got a problem with consultant. Well, it's not anything that is what needs to be done. It's not the scope of work. It's the way that they're treated. And some people, sometimes they can get really on the line of like, okay, are you really being treated poorly? I'm talking about the egregious where it's an HR nightmare, right? And this is why in your business, one of the things that I recommend that you do is have a consultant sign a code of conduct that is going to say, this is how people are treated inside of our business. When I do consulting, I'm just going to tell you, I have a code of conduct, and I read it with the business owner, the offer owner, the managers, the practitioners, and say, hey, listen, this is what you're going to expect from me. These are the types of conversations I'm going to ask. I'm going to request. I'm going to be polite. I'm going to nudge. I'm going to send emails. I'm going to send text messages. But what they're not going to do is be threatening, aggressive. They're not going to be guilt trips. I'm not going to threaten employees and call them out for doing stuff or not doing stuff. Like, that's the job of a business owner or manager. Like, that's not the job of a consultant. And if you're thinking like, I'm going to hire somebody to do that, that might be part of the problem. Now, here's the thing. If you're looking to sell your business in the next 2 to 3 years, or you're looking for some help with some general consulting, you should reach out to the Deal Hotline, 888-DEAL-919, 888-DEAL-919, and a member of my team will get back to you. No deal is too big. So I can think back of about a year and a half ago, I had somebody reach out to me and they said, hey, we want you to work with our organization. And what they were trying to do is trying to put me into a quasi-management role. And I'm like, I'm not a manager, right? I'll help you fix problems and things inside of your business. I'll help you with business growth strategies. But what I'm not going to do is be a manager to people when that's not my role and responsibility. What you're looking for is somebody to be a manager, and you have a manager and they're not holding the people accountable, right? And so ultimately at the end of the day, I declined taking the role and responsibility because there was too much confusion of who was going to be in charge and who was going to do what, and what they wanted me to do was outside of my scope. It was outside of the way that I operate. It was outside of the way that I was comfortable with moving forward with a business. And so sometimes like there's things on your wish list that you want to have done that the consultant's going to be like, time out, I don't do that. My team doesn't do that. I don't do that. That's outside of what I do. I can give you the numbers of people. I can outsource it. And sometimes consultants outsource all sorts of stuff. There's things that, like, I'm not an accountant. Don't ask me to do an accounting. I'm not HR. I don't want to do HR, but I've got friends that do. And so when those things pop up, I'll say, hey, I'm going to bring in my outside, and this is discussed beforehand. How your team is treated is really important. How that interaction goes is very important. And the conversation that you have before somebody even comes and works with your organization, this is absolutely like where you go, this is a breaking point for me. If you're going to treat my team poorly, pizzas, deuces, get out of here. You got to go. But as a business owner, as an offer owner, as a marketer, as a professional, you have to be aware sometimes that when your team comes to you and says, hey, this dude or this chick is doing things, and either A, they're illegal. That's a huge red flag. That's a red flag with bottle rockets and flares. Or B, they're treating the employees horribly, and now it's an HR nightmare. I've seen this live. I've literally seen consultants, and I'm going to use that term roughly, threaten employees for asking questions. Wasn't pretty. But Be aware sometimes the consulting doesn't work because the consultant doesn't know how to act and they're not professional. You got one of three things to do from here. Just one of three. Find the subscribe button, click on it, and every time I send out a video, you'll get an update. 2, hit follow. 3, share this video with a friend. We'll see you soon. Thanks for watching.